Welcome to Baritone Cult. On tonight's episode, we've got our 30 scale Red Layer Baritone back. And in this video, we're going to talk about some of the things we did with it, what's coming up in the next video, strings, that type of stuff. So let's get right into it. I'm going to take this guy off right here. We'll just do a quick preview. Maybe some of you guys on the channel haven't seen this. So this is a 30 scale Red Layer Baritone. And the owner of the company's name is Yort. And I have a few custom baritones and guitars. He was wonderful to work with. So if you guys are in the market, he was my favorite to work with. He's really passionate. Just a beautiful, light 30 scale baritone. The reason why we're making a video, I sent this to Sweetwater, to their guitar department, where they have, I don't know, 40 to 50 guys over there. And there was nothing wrong with this. But, you know, there's not really cool 30 scale guitars out there floating around. And I love this one. I love the neck. It's really light. I had the bare knuckle silo pickups in there. You know, at the time, a few years back, I just thought that Rabia, those are his signature pickups. I know he vibes with baritones. I'm going to check them out. For me, they just didn't work. And so the whole time I was like, man, you know, what am I going to do? So I'm going to tell you about my experience with getting it worked on at Sweetwater. And I'm going to play some clean stuff with it. I'm going to put some, some grit on there for you guys. So I got the Tosin Abasi Fishman pickups in there. I got the guitar plecked. Because why not? I'm sending it over there to those guys. And I didn't have any problems with frets or anything like that. But I just figured, you know what? I'll get it plecked. I'll get some pickups put in it. And these pickups sound really cool. They're a new voice for us. And most of the time we're using passives. But I just figured there's so many good sounds with these Tosin Abasi Fishmans that after I have another guitar over there with them in there. So that kind of helped me. But I figured a lot of them guys with them 8 strings, they're down in F, they're down in drop E, that type of stuff. So I think it'll work for me. Because the sound that I like with baritone or 30 scale is just a light grit, that articulation, the clarity. Sometimes I'll use a little bit more distortion on some of the stuff that we're doing. I know we're doing a lot of stuff. This album's in drop B, not with our baritones. But there's more grit on that, but it can be allowed, because we're still getting that clarity. To explain the process about that Sweetwater, I just called up my sales rep, Max, who's worked with me on many different things. And he's just, he's passionate about his stuff. He cares. So that's nice. So I'm like, hey, I want to send this over there. Set it up. Send it over there. And it was really hot because these are body mounted pickups. They were the spacing and stuff was really close. So now they're a little bit farther away. So I got back a hold of them and I'm like, hey, these things are super hot. And no problem. Send it back in. We'll take care of it. So what they did is they routed the body a little bit more so these guys would sit down in there. Because I can always roll my volume back a little bit, which I normally do. I got it back and here we are. It worked out. I think these things sound awesome. I like them way better than the bare knuckle silo pickups. I'm sure those are amazing for some people. They just, not for me. Every note is in tune on this thing after that pleck job. I mean, it's a lot of neck, 30 scale. Your normal guitars, Les Paul's 24 3/4, Tellers are 25 1/4, 30's quite a bit longer. So what I have next to me, let me put this thing around my neck so we don't flop it off here. This might be helpful to some of you guys. This is a drop G tuning. And the first string I'm going to show you here is a DR tight fit 70. Now, I buy all my strings from Just Strings. And the nice thing is, they're there within a few days. And I've got so many orders I couldn't count. Why am I showing you the DR? I've tried all the other ones. I've tried the NYXL 70s. You might have a favorite, but if you haven't tried this one, I don't know, they're like $1.50. So that's going to be on my low string right here for G. And here's your regular NYXLs. And these are all singles. And so you've got a 70. You've got a 46. You could do a 33 or a 34 right here. There's a 33 on it right now. And there's a 24. You could do anywhere between a 22, 23, and 24. And then there's an 18 and then a 13.5. So on the bottom, you can do a 17 and a 13. Now, some of my other baritones are 30 and a quarter scale. So every time you go up a quarter, your tension increases 0.3 pounds. Something like that. So there's a reason why I have these other baritones that are 30 and a quarter. But this is a 30 scale. And so 70, 46, 33, 34, 24, 18, 13.5 for a drop G. If any of you guys are curious and want to try that out. If you've got a baritone and maybe something's not working right with it, or you're like, I love this thing, like I do with this, I want to just try something different with it, I recommend working with those guys over there at Sweetwater. I think they did a fine job. And to rewind a second, they sent it to me the first time, and I said, the pickups are really close. I didn't get upset because I'm put my mind in the guy of the tech. Yeah, he probably brought it to his supervisor and said, these are kind of close. And I thought, well, the supervisor probably said, send it to him. If he likes it, you never know. Because once they route this body in here, then it's routed. But they hooked me up, and I wanted to do a video about sending your guitar into Sweetwater. It was just an awesome experience. Why don't I pump the brakes, and we'll hear how this thing sounds. And some of this stuff in some of these videos might be familiar from video to video. It's just maybe some of the ideas or some of the current stuff we're working on. So if you hear one thing in one video and another, that's what's on the grill. Now that's the middle pickup on my three-way, and then I've got a push-pull. So I don't really know where all the settings are quite yet. Not really familiar with, actives and stuff like that. But it sounds pretty killer. So we'll do the neck. And then I'm just going to play, because you guys know what these pickups sound like. So let's just hear it out. we're going to switch it over to put some grit on it. I think that's what we need. So hold tight. Okay, I think we got some grit that will work with this video. So I've been playing in a different tuning on different instruments. Just trying to give you a little bit of tone there. I really think with the Fishman, we're going to be able to dial in something really sick. So the next one, we've got a Fender Custom Shop Bass 6, and we've done some monkeying around with that thing. It's got a killer neck on it, being a 30 scale. You know, I'm thinking too in one of these videos, we just went over some strings for drop G tuning that work in 30 scale. I think I should grab like some of my drive pedals and kind of explain. This video really wasn't a video to sell you on tone, because I think some of the tones we were getting were, you know, maybe kind of subpar than what we normally would kind of go for. But it's funny. I know when we were shooting a video the other week, John and I were talking about, hey, what time did you get up? I'm like, I don't know. 3 a.m. He's like, I've been up since 5. And so these days that we get together, I thought about that and I'm like, man, it's a long day. Not whining, but I was thinking, no wonder why we feel cracked out when we're shooting these videos, because it's freaking way north of a 12-hour day. So sometimes when we're in these videos, you know, it's after a long day, but we love doing it, and we hope you guys are enjoying it. So Fender 30 scale next. I think I need to talk about some drive pedals and how we go about maybe doing those for some tones. The reason is we got a lot of music out there, and you know, we've got another song we're going to release here soon. You know, that's all baritone stuff. And we've got another album that's almost completed. But I really think a lot of those tones on some of our songs, they sound really good. And I think I want to dive into a little bit about that, because to get that type of stuff, you can grab a Fender Bassman or you can grab an Amplified Nation. Now I'm pro 412 cabs because you can mix and match the speakers, which I've done that with these. But if you got a 30 scale baritone, you love it, maybe it's not a Red Layer, it doesn't matter. You can get them things worked on. You can get a, the Evertune bridge sit in one of those things. But also, a lot of these tones that we're doing are some of the stuff that we've recorded and put out our music. You can have a Fender Bassman, with the right pedals, you know, maybe some of the right preamp tubes in there, can really be achieved, you know, the cheap way or the more expensive way. It's just about you. You can get to that, you know. So I think that's one of the other things I want to talk about. We'll catch you on the next one. I hope you loved the word salad. See ya.